Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Straight Talk, y'all. Come on in and enjoy this discussion tonight with us. Get into the comments. Let us know that you're here.
Definitely.
Hello, Miss Amber. Let me introduce everybody if you don't know us as Cynthia over to my left. Over to my right, my bad. Y'all know I'm always mixed up. And then we got Tanya over here to my right. And then, of course, me, Jay. How's everybody doing tonight?
Tired.
Y'all tired?
Yeah, it's been one of
I'm tired too, girl. It's been a long day. Long day.
Oh, did you tell me about the Thursday giveaway?
Oh, yeah, y'all. Tonight is the Thursday giveaway. So y'all make sure that y'all tune in, stay to the end. Make sure you get your name over here in the comments so we can recognize who you are. And we're going to do our drawing at the end of the show.
Yep.
Now, before we get started with our show
tonight.
That Medea was coming out.
Yeah, sure.
Before we get started with our show, I want to tell everybody it's important. Make sure y'all go out and vote. Please go and vote. Your life depend up on it.
Yes.
I know the lines are long. You don't want to sit out there in that sun for 8 hours, 9 hours. You know, I don't want to do it either, but I'm going to do it because we got to get this man up out of office anyway.
And I think the early voting right now is till the 30th or the 31st of October. So you can go in and get your early vote on, and don't wait to the last minute because I think everything is
Please
designed.
Don't procrastinate.
It's designed to be that way. In case y'all are not picking up on things, I'm just saying, get out there and go do it.
And second of all, of course, y'all know what month this is. What does it represent? Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, Straight Talk is supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're customizing t-shirts. So if y'all want a t-shirt, get into our inbox.
Yes.
We're going to have it on our website where we sell our merchandise soon, but we don't have it all set up right now. Nay, do you want to get them show your shirt?
Yes. Y'all better come on in and get these shirts.
Girl. I got mine on too tonight. Let's see. What does it say? I wear pink for someone special.
Yeah, y'all come on in.
And then Nay, what does your shirt say?
I can't see it. Hell, I'm upside down.
Fight like a girl.
Fight like a girl.
Yes,
you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Nay.
I don't know.
I'm upside down. But I like the design of the lady because it doesn't matter. I understand that it's for breast cancer, but women everywhere, it doesn't matter if it's just for breast cancer. You fight for anything. You have to fight for your kids. You got to fight for your life. So, baby, this is me. This black girl is representing me.
Girl, give me some. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna let y'all know we have a sale right now going on for our t-shirts. Usually they're $27, but now we're selling them for $17. So if you want them, like I said, get into our inbox and we'll get it to you.
Percentage does
and
a percentage of the proceeds goes toward what?
Coleman G.
That's
Foundation.
It.
Mm-hmm. Coleman G Foundation. My father did not die, of course, from breast cancer, but he died from stage 4 liver cancer. So cancer to me, just fighting cancer awareness is important to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So tonight, y'all, we're going to be talking about parenting, blurred lines exposed. I was on social media, y'all, a couple of days ago, and something popped up in my inbox. And it was a disturbing message that I saw. Disgusting. I mean, just foul. I don't even know the words to even describe it. I'm telling you, man, it just took me for a surprise. I was disgusted.
Okay.
So I opened up the message and it was about a mother and a daughter getting married.
A who?
A mother and a daughter going to the altar, getting married.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Keisha.
Hey,
I'm glad you joined us.
Got a guest popping in.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
We're doing good. How about yourself?
Girl, it was drama in my breezeway today, but okay.
We're going to get on that a little bit later. You must share.
Oh, yes.
But right now, I was telling everybody about a message that I received. Hey, Miss Jermaine. Hey, Carolyn. I was telling them about a message that came up in my inbox. And it was about a mother and a daughter going to the altar
to get
married. Getting married, girl.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's because that's fine.
Talking about blurred lines.
Not
Somewhere
stepmother and stepdaughter, mother and daughter biologically.
But they were married. I thought you meant that
They got
significant others that they were but together.
Yes.
They got married, not just together. They got married.
To each other.
What had happened was the daughter gave the mother an ultimatum. She told her, if you don't marry me, I'm going to move out the house.
Girl.
Yeah. That ain't all that she said. So for all the people who were complaining about the marriage and was against it, of course, everybody's going to be against that disgusting mess.
Right.
I'm going to say that.
Right.
She told them, well, my mother has always been the one who loved me.
Miss Charmaine, that's what we said. How's that allowed?
Yeah. Matter of fact, it's not allowed in Africa. It's against the law. It's against the law everywhere, it says. Okay, so anyway, so she said that her mom is the only one that knows how to love her. She said her father was never present in the household, right? So she said, even when it comes to love making, her mother knows how to please her.
Oh, Jesus.
Lord, I know.
Jesus.
That's why I told you it was foul, y'all.
Jesus.
It was foul.
That's what I'm talking about. That's that crazy stuff. That's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
But you know,
so tell me, I see you rubbing your face, Keisha. I see you, babe. That's how I was when I heard it. I'm gonna go to you, Nay. What would you do if your daughter came to you and gave you an ultimatum and told you, Mom, I'm gonna move out the house if you don't marry me, and you'll never see me. You'll never see me.
Turn your ass. I'll holler at you. Deuce.
Girl.
Holla.
What?
Bye.
I
can love you,
cheek, but I ain't gonna turn it the way you want me to turn the other cheek.
Right. Slap out the mouth.
But what would you say to your daughter, your child, if your child came to you with that?
Like literally, I would have to see what her mindset is, what made her feel like that. But obviously, they had already been doing something that they had no business doing.
Right, those lines had already been crossed well before she told her that or gave her that ultimatum. So,
she's out of line, pedophilish. She should go to jail, literally, for real.
Exactly,
honey. Evidently,
I'm gonna tell you now. We're telling the baby, pack your shit. And you ain't going nowhere. We're gonna go to the psychiatrist. That's where we're going down to Wichita. We're gonna go see somebody. Maybe we got to go seek some help.
Jesus, I'm gonna pack it for you.
Don't forget the church.
I'm gonna pack it for you, and we're gonna pull up at the MHMR. She need help.
Okay,
but apparently she don't need no more help than her mom. Her mom need help. She's sick in the head, crazy. Have that type of relationship with her daughter. Like, ew.
That's what I'm saying. It's at the point, like, who do you blame more? Because you're looking at the situation like, what?
I don't blame the daughter at all. The mom, that responsibility of that situation goes directly to her mom.
That's right.
She was wrong. She was out of line for that, for even going there.
I definitely agree.
If you want to be with the same sex, that's fine, but that's your choice. But
exactly,
daughter, that's sickening. Y'all,
that is.
You carried that child for 9 months.
That's the part I'm talking about. You actually have bonded. You've bonded with you. I mean, that's just some kind of line. I don't even understand it because you, like I said, you bond and you carry your child for 9 months, and then you have them and then nurture them and raise them and give them everything that they need to know to grow and go through life. And then at what point do you start looking at your child like that's somebody you could be with intimately? At what point does that even happen?
I'm not all that surprised just because I'm reading my Bible and he said last days that things like this will come about. So I'm not that it happens, but I'm like, dang, like for real, I live to actually see something like that or hear something like that. That's crazy.
You are absolutely right. And evidently, oh, by the way, hey, everybody in the comments, I know y'all are just as shocked as we are, but evidently it's not just in Africa because, what was it, Oklahoma?
This was in Norman, Oklahoma.
Another one.
But this lady, she actually got charged for it. Her and her daughter both got charged.
Why did the daughter get charged?
Doing prison time right now. Why did the daughter get charged?
Yes.
Because she tried to take up for her mom. She was like, why are you charging my mom with this crime if I'm in agreement to it?
Oh, wow.
So they was like, okay, you want to take up for your mom? Well, we're going to press charges on you too.
I don't agree with that part. I don't agree with that. Not the daughter getting charged. She needed help. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the mama's fault.
I think that the mom took it to her. Like no kid in their right mind has the
It's going to
mentality
think that.
just think that. So you had to have literally did something to your child, or you had her mom. Her mom did that. I believe.
So what do y'all feel about this? Because a lot of people are saying that, well, if it was a father figure in the home, it would have never happened.
I disagree with
You know,
that.
I always got to throw that in there. If it was a father figure in the house, if it was a man in the house, I think that if that's her mentality, that's her mentality.
No,
Father figure in the house, she probably would have had a daughter sleeping with the father too.
Now that's even
as parents, we raise our kids to be the best human beings they could possibly be. At a certain age, I don't care what you've been taught, what you've been told, you still gonna go about things the way you want to, especially if you're not living in the household with your parents. So a kid is going, I raise my kids to be what I consider to be decent human beings, but that don't mean that they didn't go behind my back and do almost everything that I told them that I did that they shouldn't do. At some point, they're going to get their own mind and they're going to start thinking and doing stuff on their own. So I don't really hold parents accountable for their child, or I hate people say, well, who raised that kid? I did, but that my kid ain't don't hold your kid on a higher pedestal because they may have made better decisions.
You ain't lied about that.
I'm saying,
yeah,
there's too many influences out here in the world, so you can't blame the parents.
Right.
You know, we can only do so much. Like I always say, if my kid just take 10% of what I said, I'm happy with that.
10%.
That's it. 10, baby. I just take 10.
10.
Francis said, not exactly, because there are some kids that lust after their parents. Boy, good Lord. Now I've had my son's friends lust after me, you know, but my own kids lust after me. Oh no, I wouldn't even know how to handle that.
You know what? Maybe there was something that happened to the mom or the parent in the situation, because that's what I kind of think with any kind of abuse or neglect or something that goes on with parents and children. I think something happened to the parents and it just continued on down the line, because something had to have happened, I believe, for them to think that it's okay to continue that, to even go down that line.
It is just so
that's them family strongholds and bondages that them entanglements of the family that they got.
Ooh, horrible.
It was some things that when you say that, Tanya, it was some things that happened to my mother as a child, but she didn't let it affect her on how she raised us. It was some things that happened to me as a child, but I didn't let it affect me and how I raised my children. Yes. What I'm saying is, some people are just demented. You know, I truly believe in warning before destruction, and you get these signs within your family or friends per se to let you know, hey, that's a red sign, that's a red tape, something needs to be done. That mother at some point had to fondle with her daughter in order for her daughter to fall in love with her in that way, to feel like couldn't no man or no other woman love her. You know, something in your twisted mind. You know what I mean?
I'm not lying about that.
That's just crazy to me. And I ain't gonna even lie. For me, I can't see. I love my kids, and all y'all know I do. I still ride for my kids to this day, but I don't ride so deep to where I want to be in the bed with my son or my daughter. It don't get that good.
Francis says, believe it or not, some parents lived healthy lives and never had anything happen to them, which is it's possibly true, which makes it just that much more worse. I mean, you understand what I'm trying to say? Because then you can have something to explain maybe why something happened to them in the past, and maybe that's why they're continuing that dysfunction. But then to know that maybe nothing happened to you, and then you're doing something. No, Jesus, need Jesus. I'm sorry for those who don't believe.
Oh, that blows my mind.
I'm sort of changing the subject a little bit, but I got a question for y'all. Do y'all believe in putting your kids before your husband or your significant other?
Well, let me show you. Speaking from experience, because I did do it, and I did it for minty, not many, minty. I did it for many years. Nobody came above or beyond my children. I don't give a damn who you were. You ain't doing it. But biblically and in marriage and all that kind of stuff, is supposed to be the man upstairs, your husband, you, then the children. Now that's just the biblical law. But but when people get on here and they say, you know, I ain't never, well, I'm over here in this top right hand corner and I'm confessing to the world, baby. Not only did I do it, but I did it to the best of my ability. Nigga, fuck you. Okay. Now, was I wrong in that aspect? Now that I am an adult, an older, wiser adult, and I see my kids and some of the decisions that they are making today, yeah, I know that I was wrong, but I can't sit here in this seat and say I regret it. You know what I did what I thought I should have done at that time.
Okay, I respect that. I can respect that.
I believe that when you put your kids before your husband or your wife or your mate, it sends a mixed signal. Yeah, I mean, it confuses the child. You know what I'm saying? And they begin to think that they're on a higher level than just being in a child's position.
And my kids burn both ends of the candlestick in that language. My youngest daughter, she just told her fiance that about her stepdaughter. And I hate to say stepdaughter because I really love Lily, but because Lily knows at 2 or 3, she could toddle the fence with what she wants.
Oh, okay.
And Tatiana is telling fiance, like, look, my mom said we did this to her and my stepdad, and that's why some of their relationship goals was up and down. And she's telling him now, like, we can correct this. She's 3. So as long as we stand together now, we can work this out now. Don't wait till she gets older and give her that decision.
Keisha, did you put your kids before your husband or any relationships and any relationships you've been in? Did you put it before your partner, your kids?
I did. I'm one of them people that meant everything to me. I didn't give a dang about nobody on the face of the earth but that little boy. And I mean it, like literally. Until it wasn't until I got married and I started to spiritually grow that I learned that there had to be a head, somebody that I had to be submissive to, somebody that they had to see me be submissive to, because here I am parenting, and then I'm trying to tell him to step in, and they like, yeah, whatever. And he don't want to whoop them or do nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because there was no place. Because I literally have been by myself with my kids forever. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an on again, off again thing. So I had no one but my kids. So
it was just
like I said, when I got married and I learned their place, everybody had their place, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm sorry, I just don't. The skimp is like, skimp come before everything.
Well, evidently, a lot of people agree because Tatiana, she says no. You know,
I don't agree.
She thinks nope. India's always going to come first. Sorry, not sorry. I love my man, but my child comes first. Francis is saying no, so she said no. Don't put your child before your partner. I'm thinking, Francis, what you're saying. It depends on the situation. Damn, I wish I was there. She said she can't type a lot.
I believe that when kids are young, babies and young, yes, we both should put them first.
When we're in because they're unable to.
Yeah. Okay. So we put them first. But as they get older, no. These kids are gonna leave. These kids are gonna leave the nest. They're gonna be y'all like you and your partner ain't gonna even know each other no more. You know why? Because you were too busy putting your kids before your mate.
And that's very true.
And them kids are gonna live their life.
And see, I agree with that. But like I said, for me, it was only me and my son for so long. You know what I'm saying? And he always came first. You know what I'm saying? And even with his father, he puts him first. Like literally, I had to tell him to stop because me saying that he come first, but I get mad when he'll say something like, yeah, because I don't know how to put it, but he would say stuff like, I'm gonna do this for Skimp, but he never included me. So I'm like, why do I? What you keep saying him like we're not a pack? And he said that go without saying. I don't have to say you every time, but I was feeling like, why you
being left out? Right?
You ain't saying us. You saying just him? Yeah, because I'll take care of Skimp. I'm gonna make sure he got. I'm like, dang, where I come in, and so I get it on both behalves or whatever. But and you're right. Like at this point, I don't. When they get older, but as growing up, now that they're older and they're adults, no, y'all, I'm not, about me and my husband. We finna go do us. We done did
that's right.
To do us.
I had to learn that the hard way, though. You know, it took me getting. I don't know. Our kids were grown, and even
when they were grown,
yeah,
she still put them first.
That.
I mean, look, she let them have all my cars. I had 5 cars. She left me with none. She gave them the cars because they come first. I had to go buy me another car because they had to have a car. So that means I had to give up what I had to get them a car. Tell the truth.
It's shame the truth. Shame the devil. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I always made some kind of reason or excuse why that was necessary and they need this. And, you know, for us to continue to be understanding. And I mean, spoiled.
You love your kids, baby, because I ain't never, ever bought my kids a goddamn car, let alone gave them one. Never.
And I ain't have one.
And I still ain't got one.
All 5 of them.
You can drive my car, but you ain't getting a whole car, and I don't have a car.
I know it. You know, and I can't say that I set out with the intention to just give it because it was with certain stipulations on it when they first got it. It just ended up being that they took over it, which it ended up being everything anyway, which causes problems between her and I, because then they got the signals got crossed with them,
and it was like our kids were running our house. You know what I mean? They come home, they sitting at home chilling. They ain't been to work, ain't did nothing. Do you hear me? They
yeah,
I didn't work 2 jobs and came home. They in the house ain't washed no dishes. I'm coming home cleaning up after them. That's how it became, and that's how it is sometimes with women. You know, they are so afraid of their kids not liking them, so they start a relationship with them.
It's funny that you said that, Judy, because I would be like, babe, take out the trash. He'd be like, why I'm taking out the trash?
You got 4 kids back there.
Take out the trash, and I'm like, we work. And I'm like, okay, but you still can take out the trash. Like we would get in, like we would get into altercation,
argument.
And I would be feeling some type of way because I'm taking up for my kids. But now I know the difference. Yes. I don't put them before them, but I know that, like I said, for a very long time, my mind was stuck like my baby is my everything and I don't care about nothing else.
In my defense, since I did say my kids was everything, I'm learning now at 45. For y'all that are watching me, I'm just now learning how to do for myself. And it's hard. It's hard having to tell my kids no. It's hard having to look in the faces of my grandbabies and be like, I can't do that. I mean, some people it's easy, but for a person of my stature who has always been there for my kids, who has always been that rock for them, now it's time for me to do for me. Now it's time for me to find my piece of happiness and my little circle of joy as far as a house and all that. So, you know, I'm enjoying the ride, but it ain't easy. You know, it's not. I'm gonna move away from my kids here in the next few weeks. Not really far, but I think it's needed. Is the purpose that what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I think if I stay up under my kids here in Dallas, I'll never be able to cut them loose, and they'll never really grow up to realize what they can do for themselves. So I'm looking forward to the move, and I'm saying that because I know.
But you are doing right. You're doing right, Nate, because you know my kids. Every last one of them, everything they ever asked me for, I gave it to them. Broke my neck to get it, and gave it to them. And when they got older and they started to rebel and do dumb stuff, I would be mad as I don't know what, but my husband would always be saying, stop doing it. Why you do it? You doing it so easy. And I will be sitting up there about to cry if I could not give them what they asked me for. But then after a while, like I said, upon praying, I start to realize that them kids gonna break my back. They gonna do whatever to get. They know they can play on me. They can come and say it to me. But then when I realized when they got older and they started to get in trouble, it was bells bombers involved and stuff involved. Like my oldest son, my oldest nephew, which is one of my kids, he told me, he said, I don't know how to be an adult. This is too hard. So now that they're out and they're experiencing stuff, I realized that I sheltered them and I gave them too much and didn't make them work for enough. So now they're when these struggles hit them, like I would have just rolled the wave and went on with it. Now they broke down crying. I can't do this. This is hard.
Girl, they are so incompetent when it comes to life.
They are.
For y'all that are watching, y'all keep hearing Keisha say her son. She has one biological son, but she adopted 3 of her brother's children. So when she go back and forth, She has 4 children, but she has 1 biological.
Honey, we know about that 4 children thing.
Okay.
Ooh, Jesus,
what? How many I got?
Look,
how many I got that I ain't had, but I raised
still
them.
parents.
Say that.
I read an article that said that a lot of times parents fall into like 3 different categories in various stages, I guess, throughout life or whatever. But one is like where you overindulge. You know, you provide everything. You can't, like you said, Keisha, you break your neck trying to give everything. It ends up being to where they don't realize that things that you get is a privilege instead of being entitled to stuff. You know, another category, right? Okay. Another category was being overprotected. I was going to
Keisha,
ask
you breaking up. You breaking up, Keisha.
I'm sorry, I didn't even hear.
No, she was breaking up. Go ahead.
I was disagreeing with Tanya. My kids felt entitled. Not asking me. They felt asking her for. She gotta give it to me. She gonna give it.
Pull your phone up to you. Pull your phone up.
Okay. Yeah, my kids got to a point to where it hurt me because they were feeling entitled. You know, where as I was feeling like I had to give it, it got to a point to where they expected it. I want it, and you should get it.
Oh yeah.
Man.
And I had to, and that's been one of my hardest things is pulling back. When I'm like you, Nate, that's one of the hardest things is to pull back from my kids and let them learn and do everything on their own. Because I'm one to where if they call me, I'm on the phone. I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm giving you the solution to your problem. Not let you work it out, but I'm figuring it out for you. And my husband said, "You gonna keep doing that?" And when they get out there in that big old bad world, they gonna. That's not good. I done pulled it all the way back.
So why do y'all feel guilty if you say no? Why do you feel guilty to say no to your children?
Part of it is because when you grow up with nothing and you grow up with nothing, and you know, for me, my mom got on drugs at an early age. You know what I'm saying? So I was taking care of my brothers, both of my brothers, before I even started to take care of kids. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always said if I had a kid, that anything that my kid wanted, I was gonna make sure I was able to provide it for them, not knowing that I should have made them work for it.
And that's definitely the truth.
That's it.
I totally agree. You know, I was gonna say another category was like being overprotective. And Cynthia, you were mentioning that you're all about the kids and all about your kids all the time. Do you think that any of y'all have fallen into that to where? I think it becomes a point. It's an automatic thing where you want to be there for every single thing for your kids, like everything. But
Girl,
there comes
hey, Nay, look. But wait, Nay, listen, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you a prime example of how I'm overbearing. I'm all up in the mix, and I stay in their business. My son, a couple of weeks ago or whatever, his friend, baby mama, spit on him. He didn't tell me about it. He didn't tell me about it. But when we over here chilling or whatever, I'm having a whole conversation over here, and I hear him say, "Yeah, she spit on me."
you instantly left your situation to go and do with him.
Mama, that's why I didn't tell you, Mama, because you overreact. I'm like, overreact. She spit on you, son.
Spit on you. That
so
you might go my ass.
Listen, I did. I said, I am so glad that God protected me and sheltered me from that situation, because had I been there, she was number 20 years old and I was 40 years old, and I was gonna drag her. I was gonna drag her to doomsday.
Grown situation.
So I go on her and I post a whole post on Facebook.
Girl, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I'm bragging about the fact that my son was able to turn the other cheek in that situation. But he calls me, "Mama, take that down. You causing drama. You trying to start stuff and you done tag people. That is over. That has been over for a while. Mama, take it down." I'm like, "No, it's my page. I'm not taking it down. I just want her to know that if she ever spit on you again, I'm gonna beat her up." But I was wrong. I was wrong.
Fully grown.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you.
I was wrong.
Let me tell you about
I thought about that all day long, y'all. I was plotting. I was talking shit. My brain was going down miles per hour and everything for like 2 days straight. And then when he called me and put me in my place, I was like, "All right, my bad."
Let me tell y'all about my son and some road rage. Him and one of his exes was coming from somewhere off the highway, byway, off of the highway. And so he picks up the phone and he calls me. And his girlfriend at the time say, "Why are you calling your mama?" And he was like, "We don't need to call the police for no road rage. I'm gonna show you who my police is." My son like 23 years old. Do you hear me? Grown man. Don't get no grown to 23, 24. Okay. So the car follows him in the neighborhood where I was living at the time. And so I ain't on my porch. I'm on the corner with the gat. Bitch, what? What's new?
Oh my God.
What's new? What's new? You gonna have to take us all out, baby. You gonna have to get us out, baby. And when she seen me with my pistol in my hand, being his ex-girlfriend, she was like, "Mama, what you were gonna do, baby?" As soon as they start spraying at that car, he already know. Don't stop, keep going. Call 911 because before they get to the next corner, that car gonna be lit up. I'm just telling you,
we have got to do better, y'all.
You be thinking you and set it off, don't you?
Okay.
Sometimes I do when it comes to
Cleo. She acting just like Cleo. She done drove cars into the guns.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Y'all, we have got to do better. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
There's a line, again, we keep saying that over cross.
It is a blurred line.
It has to be a balance. Be there for your kids, protect them to a certain extent. But remember, and I had to learn this too. Kids are stronger than what you think they are. You know what I'm saying? We raised them, we gave them enough to survive 9 times out of 10 and let them go through it, or else they're never gonna, they got to learn to handle their own situations. I remember I read about a kid that was so involved with their parents. I mean, the mama went with him to his job interviews. She was so involved in everything and I'm talking about 25 years old. So, I mean, why are you going with your son to a job interview? What are you doing? That's just too involved. So, like I said, we got to do better. Back up. Let them live their own life. Y'all are crazy up in that setting it off with guns and carry it on. Even but can understand because kids take you there for some reason. I don't know. Is it a natural thing with moms or what?
No, but what Keisha said for us, though, I can't speak for all single mothers, but how we grew up. It was the mindset of how we grew up with our parents, being off on drugs and having to fend for ourselves. It's like, how can you do this to your kids, but yet I still love my mama? How can you do this to your daddy, but I still love my father? So in my mind, my kids is not going to struggle the way I had to struggle. Now,
do you think that you try to live through your kids?
Oh, I know I did, because in my mind, my oldest daughter is supposed to be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be on it because that's where I seen her going.
So she has lived through your kid. Is that something you wanted to do, and then you wanted to make sure that
that's something that I seen within her that I said, "This what you gonna do?" She ain't tell me that's what she wanted to do. I told her what she was gonna do. Okay,
so this is expectations. So
this is what you gonna do, and I kept pushing it. Just like my son in the service, my son Devon wouldn't have had to take the ASVAB test for the Army.
Mm-hmm.
His ROTC teacher was so in love with him and impressed with him that Mo was just going to go straight into the Army. But when push came to shove, that's not what Devon wanted. He did not want that. So the man came by the house 3 days in a row. And he said, "I'm not coming back, Miss Nelson, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if I take him downtown Dallas and he signs his name on the dotted line, he belongs to the United States of America at least for 3 years."
That's right.
So in his eyes, even though he was good in ROTC and he got him past the AFAS test, that's not what Devon wanted. That's just what me and the ROTC teacher wanted. And now looking back at my son now at 26, 27, Mama, I should have did it, but he was so afraid of letting himself down, or me for that matter, being my only son. He scared himself out of what he should have did.
Mm-hmm. Judy, do you think that maybe you had higher expectations for the boys than what they had as far as like football and sports?
Yes, I know I did.
Because
I expected for them to go into the medical field because we're in the medical field.
True.
But it didn't happen that way, and they, I know they felt pressure. They felt like they had to do it.
And that's probably with a lot of kids. They feel like.
But I look at everybody else's kids. There was some of my friends' kids. I'm like, dang, they followed in their parents' footsteps. So I want to know, why didn't our kids follow in our footsteps?
I don't know. Like Cynthia said, if it's not something that they want, we want it more for them. And if they don't want it, it's almost like a waste of time. Like when you send your kid to college. You send them to college, it's almost a guaranteed expectation in the very first year that what's going to happen.
They're going to fail.
And I'm glad Tanya, I'm glad you said that because my oldest boy, he was good at every sport. So I tried to push it on my youngest, my son. My son didn't want to do. He didn't want to do the whole basketball, football thing. But the oldest one was in 3 different AIU. I'm taking him back and forth. I mean, I'm going in 401ks to send him on these trips to make him the best he could be, get that college education. I sent this dude to college, and 3 days later he called me crying. I want to come home. I'm like, no, dude, you staying there. You gonna stay there at college.
Okay.
And after that, he ended up hooking up with his mom, and he came right on back home. He quit college and everything. So tuition wasted, room and board wasted, all this money that I done cashed in to try to make sure that what I thought was your dream was really something I wanted for you. You didn't want it that bad. I wanted it better for you than you did.
That's true. Miss Amber, she says, I feel that you have to let your kids fail to a point and let them learn from their mistakes and be there for them when they need you. That's the balance.
How do y'all feel about that?
Letting them fail.
Are y'all afraid to let your kids fail?
I am. I was.
I'm not afraid.
I'm not now, but I was.
You can't be afraid to let them have that hard lesson.
I'm serious. I was. I was very afraid to let them fail because I just thought about, like I said, I'm looking around me and all my people didn't make it, and and I'm putting my expectations on them, expecting them to do greater things, and they didn't. And they didn't. So you gotta learn that everything ain't for everybody, and you gotta let them choose. You have to let them choose, because if you don't, you're gonna push something on them that they don't want to do, and you're gonna waste a lot of money, like I did.
That's a hard pill to swallow, though. I tell you that.
My kids were held to a higher expectation in my family here in Dallas. Like, oh, I know Cynthia kids ain't doing this. I know Nathan's child ain't doing that. If my brothers see my kids on social media and they may have put some vulgar language or some hood rat language on Facebook or took a picture that they wasn't supposed to take. Now, my brothers are not the uncles that, they at every game, they at every basketball. They're not them type of brothers. But if you step out of line because we know the statue that your mother have you on, we're going to snatch it out of your ass. So my kids have higher expectations from everybody else, and like, why they don't take their own kids? Why they always picking up? Because you all are my children, and people know what I expect of you.
Yeah.
Like Keisha, and I'm not trying to give her no shout out because my son graduated high school and all this and that. As soon as my son asked, "Aunt Keisha, I want you to pay for my room. Aunt Keisha, I want you," she dropped out because why? You did what you were supposed to do. It ain't about the fact that your mama had it or didn't have it. You are one of the first to graduate in our little kids' generation. So we're going to make sure you go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Sandra's baby shower, just going back and forth. I'm all broke down, sad, mad, busted, and disgusted. She's 21 years old. She grown. Why am I crying because she's pregnant? Why did I cry?
I asked the same question. I wanted to know, why was you crying because she was pregnant?
And Keisha come down here to Dallas and throw her a damn baby shower like she Don Juan or some goddamn body.
But hey,
Francis,
baby showers is my thing.
Francis said what?
Birthday.
You will also push your kids away from you if you don't let them be who they are. Remember, our kids are a product of us, but they are not us.
That's true. That is so true.
We want more for them than what they want. Miss Amber and Cynthia, your kids never let you know when you did wrong because they were afraid you would beat their ass.
You know what, Amber? You're right.
And my kids was the same way. I know more about my kids that I thought I knew now. We have a better relationship now because I allowed them to be the adults that they are and say what they want to say. So now they tell me, sometimes I'll be like, I didn't really want to hear that. No.
Okay, no. TMI, too much. No.
I be telling Tanya, sit back and let them kids talk. You'll find out everything you need to know.
Everything you need to know,
baby. And those mouths get just laxed and they just get talking.
WAIT. Why am I talking? Pause.
That's it.
Wait. Listen, just pause. Don't you keep talking and spitting out stuff and trying to critique this and that. Listen to what your kids are saying, because you'll learn a whole lot about your child. Oh, Jesus.
You'll find out if they need some counseling.
Okay. Find out all the dirt because they're going to tell it on themselves. Always do.
Ooh, girl.
Mute it. Can't hear you, Keisha.
Oh, I'm sorry, Keisha. Wait a minute, Keisha. Wait, you got your mic muted.
My husband used to say all the time, let a motherfucker talk. If they gonna tell it on themselves, listen sometimes. You go to them and tell them, I know you did, and you did this, and you did that. He said if you just sit there and ask questions and let them talk, they gonna tell
me that all the time. I'm over here talking so much, I done gave it and provided them with an excuse.
She'll help them out.
I done gave them a whole situation and scenario. Yeah, mama, that's exactly what happened.
Because you called me at 7:00 and you said that you was over there at that church.
No, yes, mama.
Just go right along with that story. I went to church. I sure was.
Oh my God. I have a question. Do y'all think that there's a healthy level of fear that your kids are supposed to have for your parents?
Good question.
Yes.
But why do a lot of people say that it's not good for your child to fear you?
Because they don't got no sense. They too busy being their kid's friend. I'm not
there you go.
I'm not your homegirl. I ain't your homeboy. I will bust you in your damn throat.
And I'm not saying that you have to be all in there behind. I'm just saying that the friend part you can't. You have to stay the parent.
Yeah.
Stay the parent.
Always.
So the fear part, I mean, you want them to have a healthy measure. There's a balance.
If you don't have no fear, you ain't gonna have no control. And if you ain't got no control, guess what? Somebody else gonna step in and have control.
The law.
And that's
9 times out of 10.
And then when they get locked up, ain't nothing you can do but put some money on their books.
That's true.
So you have to have control of your children.
That's right.
My biggest thing was my mother again was out there on drugs and all that kind of stuff. God rest her soul. But she didn't drugs and all. You're not gonna buck the system. You just not. That's not how we were raised. I got my ass whooped with a whole Christmas tree with the ornament still on it. So,
jingle bells, jingle bells.
I'm just saying.
Not with a whole Christmas tree, no.
The whole, and I ain't talking about the dollar store Christmas tree either. I'm talking about a real live whole Christmas tree with the star still on the top, and then told us to put it back together because she still gonna have her damn Christmas.
Nay, by them old school heaters, and you don't hit your leg, done hit it and burnt it. You should have laid on. You should have laid down.
You should have laid your ass down.
Always your fault.
Ain't that so?
Yeah.
Parents,
now that y'all
I got a belt whip across my face, and you done told me I should have just laid there. Well,
you should have did it.
You should have took it like the man you are. Don't play it. No, but some parents do go overboard.
Okay,
they really do. How about these parents that be locking their kids up in those little dog cages and stuff? Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
My kids is going off in the comment, Judy.
Okay, ain't they, girl? Look. What Sandra say? She said you can't tell Cynthia kids got.
No, she said.
Oh, girl. You can tell Cynthia's kids got girl. Okay, what she say, girl? She had fear in my butt. Was scared to tell her I was pregnant at 22. I know you was, baby. Pose. I can open up to her.
Nene so bad.
I actually did good. Graduating from high school and beauty school. Yes, ma'am. Well, that's good because I think when our kids do reach a certain age, they are able to open up and talk to us if you guided them along the way.
Sandra said you can tell Cynthia kids got beat as kids.
I remember that time you came down here with Momo, and Momo wanted to stay. Momo grown. I'm talking about he was at least 23 or something. It was like maybe last year. And Momo wanted to stay, and I was gonna get him on the Tyson. Nene had a whole conniption. You finna get in this car. Oh, you not staying here. You not gonna be. You made him go home.
22, a grown man.
Go home. Grown man.
I did.
Go home.
Why?
I was like,
why, Cynthia? Why? Why did you make it come home?
Because in my mind, you finna come on, you finna go to school, you finna do something. You're not finna come down here and lag off and lay up on your folks and act like I ain't getting home training. Bring your ass out to the house.
But he was 22, right?
Yep.
Why didn't you let him just he chose that and let him make his decision?
Who? I did. I made him home. He came on back to Dallas County.
That is a shame. That's wrong, man.
And what made you think I was gonna let him run amok at me, and I'm down here running my kids like
and Keisha not lying. I was like, she can't handle you now. She got her hands full. Get in this car right now. You know, yep.
They crazy. She is crazy. I thought I was crazy. My kids told me I was crazy a long time ago, and I just had a look and they stopped. It was just
See, that's that control that you got, that healthy measure of
fear.
Okay, that's the
it wasn't no talks before we went in the store or nothing. You got in there, you did the wrong thing, and I did that. They gonna
look, y'all. That all jokes aside, that teaches them respect. You understand what I'm saying? To have respect of something higher than just themselves. Because when they grow up and they get out into the world and you have to follow the rules of the land, I'm just saying you have to have respect.
But have y'all noticed these millennials? They don't have any respect
not
for
a
authority.
Not a lot.
You know, back in the day, we had respect for authority. They don't. They don't fear nobody, and I mean no one. They don't have any respect for their elders. They don't respect the police. You know, it's sad nowadays. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that's really my pet peeve. These millennials nowadays, when they be behind their little babies and the babies be booty popping and they be talking about, go girl, sure, come on. They all on YouTube and the camera doing splits and somersaults.
I'm talking about
bouncing their booties and all of this.
That Cardi B stuff.
And they need to be listening to some ABC Mouse or something like that. Teach them kids something.
Just don't have a whole carpet burn on your forehead. If I can't, whole carpet riding kick in your ass and you done fell over. No, I don't play this.
Better not see my grandbaby.
No.
And then another thing I can't stand is this younger generation, these young moms, when they cuss out their kids. You mother, I will beat your just cussing them out in public in the store. You know what I'm saying? And then they turn around and look at you like, hey, I did that.
And you're like,
see, I got this over here.
Or get louder with it, like it's okay.
Girl.
I mean, and the baby's just 2. What is the baby doing that's warranting something so severe and harsh like that? You understand what I'm saying? That's just extreme.
Now I ain't gonna lie, when my kids were really, really young, I didn't curse at them, but I told they butts up. But as they got older, baby, look, baby, I will break your back off in your spine, make your daddy look for you on Highway 75, baby. Don't. Boy, I had some words. Look, I will put my foot so far up. You know, by the time the surgeon got my foot out, he'd be looking for the other shoe.
With the most colorfulest dialect. I swear to God, your kids take you to that extreme. But you know,
what you about to say, Keisha?
I got broke from that because I was in Walmart one day. And them kids had did something to me, and they made me so mad. And I was over there on the other end, and I'm talking about, you know, I was the type of parent that I embarrass you. So if you're doing something to me, I'm going to embarrass you. Like one time they was acting up in school, and the teacher kept calling me. I go sit in the back of the class, and their teacher said, does anybody want to answer that question? Yeah, Khadijah answer what she just told you to answer. Whatever she asked, answer that question.
And you better get it right.
But Nay, it broke me because I was in Walmart and I was going off. I'm gonna beat your and the pastor walked on her. He said, "Hey, Miss Hawkins." I said, "Hey."
Oh, okay. Lord have mercy. Wait a minute.
Hey, pastor, and I was like, "Oh my!" That was the most embarrassing thing to me in life. I was like, "Oh my God!" And then he pulled me to the side later on, and he was like, "That ain't the way. That's not the way." He was like, the way he's like, you got him too scared. He was like, when something happens, they ain't gonna even want to come talk to you about it because they don't feel like they can talk to you about anything. So I've learned to have a healthy dialect with my kids and not before it was no understanding. It was my way or the highway, period. You gonna do what I say.
Do that.
But
when do you think that you should give kids opinions?
When they have
an opinion.
They should. Our kids, the same way you won't respect a kid, I feel like a kid should get respect the same respect. You got respect
all the time.
Yeah, I do because you have to give them at some point in time you have to respect their mind and what they're thinking. If you don't talk to your kids and allow them to speak what they got going on or how they feel about nothing, then you know what I'm saying, they not want to talk to you.
At what age though?
Early. I'm talking saying. You got to be in high school or something.
Okay. I think I agree because up until that, even junior high, going into high school.
In high school, because you're a young adult, you're a young male, you becoming a young lady, you becoming
right,
and you do your opinion is valid. I'm not saying that I'm gonna go by it, but I still need to hear it because it may be worth listening to.
My kids didn't get opinion until my kids started having kids. That's when they
don't want to talk about your kids because Lord Jesus.
They didn't. I mean, you know, like now I listen to them now. Like I said, Sandra does not like to discipline her kids because she said I discipline them too much. So I kind of shied her away from discipline. But like I told her, baby, them 2-3 kids, you gonna pick it up. But when you pick it up, it's gonna be when you gonna put it down, because it's something you have to start at a young age. You can't wait till they 9, 10, 11, 12, then you want to knock their block off. You can't.
You're right with that.
No,
they won't. They'll think that something's wrong, or that
they'll think you don't like your mind.
Yes.
So, but when my kids became adults, that's when the dialogue, as Keisha say, I would have never said dialogue. I like that, cuz. But that's when the dialogue opened for me and my kids. Come talk to me. And we talk about everything. The man I'm involved with now, I love you. Hey, baby. Some of the conversations that we have, me and my kids are sexual, and he'd be like, that girl just asked you about XYZ. Yeah. I'd rather them
come ask you, right? And
I'd rather them come ask me than to ask somebody out there that's going to lead them in the wrong direction.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so speaking of that, talking to you about anything. So what about the parents that smoke with their children?
No, I said conversation. I can't hang out with you. I can't. If I'm in the club, if you in the club, you already in the club. Hey, how you doing? And then mama walk up in the club. You need to go on, go to the next spot, because we ain't gonna be in the same club.
In the same club together. I know that's right.
No.
I'm gonna have a whole attitude if I'm sitting over here looking at this grown man looking at my kid. I'm gonna be like, no, I can't do that. No, that's one of them. And when my kids got old enough to start partying, I stopped partying. Especially around here, because there's nowhere to go. I would have ran into one of my kids literally and been in and some of my friends do. They party with their kids.
With their children.
I don't get that.
That's no.
I understand partying with your kids at the house, like it's New Year's or New Year's together. But actually going out to a club with your kid, nah.
Shoot, and even then, New Year's or Christmas party or whatever, when we had, you had a big punch bowl full of God knows what. Look, you're at the age where you can legally drink, but I don't want to see you. If you do, you got a little cup or something, I don't ever want to see it. You get what I mean?
Kids, when they turn up, or they have their little turn up parties, as these kids call it today, they be like, Mama, you can come, but I know you're not gonna be yourself, so I ain't gonna even crash your little party.
Right.
My son had a get together at my place 2 weekends ago, and it was just them watching sports or whatever. Mm-hmm. But a couple of his friends was outside talking to the trees and things like that. But my son couldn't let his hair down to go out there and talk to the trees the way they were talking to the trees. So I was like, I'm gonna go on and go so you can, experience life without me being on the back porch. And he was like, Mama, I couldn't do that with you. A lot of kids can drink and smoke and pop XOs or whatever with their mamas, daddies, cousins. I don't feel comfortable like that. I just don't.
These are just our opinions.
I got one even better for you. Mm-hmm. How about when you got a mama delivering the stuff to their child?
Okay.
I ended up scrolling through a little message. Well, somebody sent me a message. I ain't put my child out there.
I don't.
Okay, but anyway, I was reading a message from a friend's kid, and the message said, "Yeah, can you let me hold something?" And that mama said, "Yeah, just come on through and come pick it up."
Wow.
No.
Okay. What do y'all feel about that?
I mean,
whoever the friend's kid mama was, I'd have had to slide. No.
Colorful words, expletive, all that.
Yeah, no. But I got one for you that I heard today. My daughter was approached by a date a while back. Mm-hmm. And she was 21, 22. This guy was 26, 27. I felt like he was too old for her. But anyway, she was approached by a guy last night that she grew up seeing. But it's been a few years since this man seen her, okay? So he's liking all her pictures on social media. You thick, you this, you that. And she sent me his picture in the inbox and Messenger. She was like, Mama, ain't that Sean? And I was like, yeah, that's him. Mama, he been liking me, coming on to me and stuff. Tell him who I am. Hey, my mother used to date your uncle, blah, blah, blah. And I'm Cynthia's daughter. So he apologized, right? Okay. With that being said, I inboxed him today like, hey, bro, you trying to get in up under my daughter, my youngest, and I don't appreciate that. Well, he got outside the box, be this, be that, oh this, oh that, you know, and I didn't get upset. Normally I would, but I didn't because I just know him as his character. So I was like, okay, Sean, I love you too, it's whatever, but when I see you, we're going to talk. So I said, matter of fact, turn your camera on. When he turned the camera on Messenger and seen my face, he was like,
oh, okay. Right.
You know, and I was like, so when we gonna eat? Cause we gonna eat. If I'm that bitch, we gonna eat. We gonna discuss this. Cause just cause I'm not the old me, she's still in me. You know what I mean?
That's all I gotta say. Now you too old for that.
Whose side is this? I don't even know this colorful side, but you know, I guess your children will bring that.
They'll bring it out. But in his defense, my daughter's godfather explained to me, Cynthia, that was for her to deal with. You know, that was for she's 24 years old. If a 41-year-old man come on to her that she's not attracted to, she's 24. She knows how to take him to go on.
That's right.
Well, I had.
You're still overprotective. Okay,
there we go.
You got to back
overbearing.
Up.
Let your baby live.
You taught your daughter well, and I guarantee you she can handle the situation.
All respect for herself.
Back up.
So that's what I was saying. Skimp, like, back up, mama. You ain't have to even post that. I already handled the situation. I walked away from the situation. Back up. What are you doing? You making a whole post like a teenager alone when at that, mama, and you tagging people in it. I said, you know what? And it wasn't until like later on after I calmed down, I was like, dang, he kind of right. You know what I'm saying? He is kind of right.
So we have to, as parents, I guess, start to have that balance. And I mean, I think sometimes the younger generation has to hear a lot of the stories that we went through, or I don't know, because there's a definite difference you can tell in the younger parents versus like us. Or maybe what we went through when we were younger.
I've always been told, and this comes from my significant other. He tells me all the time, like, Cynthia, you can't, if you ain't got a key to that door, you can't run every house. It's not possible.
Let them be.
Yeah, it's not. Let them kids fall and make their mistakes, and if they can't get back up, even if they can't get on one knee, then you come in and you help. But you got to let them fall, and sometimes they got to fall hard, not just fall, but hard.
That's the part. That's the part that I think we try as parents, and
that's the disappointing part.
We try to protect them from falling so hard. We don't want, and so our automatic instinct is to protect and to provide and to do and just to cover it up and to just control everything. But we can't do that.
But just like Francis said earlier, the more you try to control your child, they're gonna go the opposite way.
Yeah.
That's true.
And be more extreme with it too.
It can and will get that way.
That's true too, because like I said, growing up, me being younger and growing up, like I did all my dirt when I was like, I had no business doing dirt. You know what I'm saying? I didn't part. I was mad dogging, Thunderbird,
doing the most.
Business doing none of that. I'm all the way at Beamers with my GG's with my Aunt Nina at 15. I ain't had no business. Girl, I'm up in the Long Island iced tea. Strong. I did all that when I was younger, and I didn't turn out bad. I didn't turn out no hoe. I didn't, I had already seen what that type of life would get me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to let my kids go. All my kids left. My son moved out at 2 weeks after he graduated, and I ain't seen him since. And I got to ask to come to his house.
What?
Girl. Like they can probably walk to her. They probably got a key to her kid's house. Skip ain't having it. You ain't getting
that. Oh, my kids didn't let me in either. Oh, my baby boy definitely.
Skip just say, Mama, there's certain things you don't need to be worried about or seeing or whatever I got going on. Call me before you come, and I'll meet you there. And most of the time, he's still gonna come to my house.
What's Sandra say?
It said, how do I start whooping my kids? Because all jokes aside, what my mama said was very true, and I find it hard to whoop my kids. A lot of people think it's funny, but it took a lot for me to get that way. It made me stronger in the end and as a woman, yet how can I separate the two? So Sandra, do y'all think that she feels that she can't chastise or punish her children because she thinks it's too far on the extreme, that it's wrong?
For me, that's what she's saying. For me, my form of discipline to her is like, the shit you did to me, I'm not doing all that, mama. You did extra. You did too much. But what I'm trying to get her to understand at 5 and at 6, because her son is 6, and then at 2, and then she has an 18-month-old or so. It ain't necessary. I didn't start off beating them in their back. You got 4 or 5 licks. You got time out. You got sent to your room. You cannot go outside. You cannot watch TV. You cannot get on the phone. My kids used to have to read books. And I ain't talking about no little bitty books. My kids used to have to read chapter books. And when they get through with them chapter books, you got to write me an essay on what you read, not knowing that I done already read this book. So if you go in there and try to give me the okie doke, I'm throwing you 2 more books.
Okay.
So you gonna do it the right way, you ain't gonna do it at all. So what she's saying is, in between the ass whoopings, or AKA beatings, and not being able to experience life as a teenager, she don't know where to start. But like I said, you're gonna have to start somewhere.
Okay, and so Alexia says the same thing. She feels.
Alexia says, that's how I feel. I don't like it and still don't. I can't. Well, like I say, and Lexi know this because this is what I did to her and her sister. If you don't want to whoop your child, do something different. Put them in the corner and put them in a push-up position, or make them squat up against the wall.
Make them hold the book.
There's different ways, different forms of punishment.
You do what's comfortable for you, but you have to do something. You don't have to whoop your children. It doesn't have to be corporal punishment. It doesn't, like everyone has said, Judy, Nay, there's different forms of punishment, and it's constructive. It teaches them. It makes them understand that there's a consequence for this thing that you did that's wrong. And if you don't do it, I'm a witness to not doing it. You have hell. Your child will become a hellion. I'm telling you, to the max,
to where your own child will try to jump on you.
Sandra,
start somewhere.
Believe that.
Sandra says, I will admit, by middle school, high school, I was bad as hell, or something she just put. And she was. Sandra was my kid that was wilding out of control. And I would have to pray, like, Lord, you're going to get her, because if you don't get her, I'm going to get her. She going to meet her maker. Like, Sandra is that apple to where you have to pray, where did I go wrong? That was Sandra for me.
My youngest, yes.
When a pastor look at you and tell you they almost set the Bible down to pick up a stick to whoop your child, a pastor of a church.
Okay.
Not no youth minister, not somebody up there teaching Bible study, but a whole pastor. So then when I started whooping her in front of the pastor, then the pastor started praying for me.
I feel like a lot of times parents need to take a time out instead of giving the kids a time out.
Sometimes
y'all need to take a time out, take a breather,
and come back
to your senses. You know what I'm saying? And God gave these kids a butt for you to spank them on their butt. That's what all that juiciness is for.
Dumb. Right, dumb. Just dumb.
What'd you say, Keisha?
No, I said my pastor told me the same thing, because if my kids in church and they went to sleep, I'd take my Bible, reach across there, and their head be back, and I slap them right in the back of their head and make them church. Stand up.
That's a lot of old school right there.
That's too much. She said you drawing too much attention. You gonna make them rebel. You gonna make them do something different. And Skip was that after a while, Skip had already had a lot of resentment from me bringing. I had already had my nephew from 3. Owned up in his sister. But then when I brought on the other kids, now Skip got bad. Skip got real bad. He had an attitude out of this world. And I'd be scared to even take that dude anywhere, because his attitude would come out and I would be scared of what I'm going to do to him. Because he was one of them type of kids, whoop me. I don't care. Right.
Well, that's why I got to say too, for every kid, you have to punish them all different. Because what might work for one is not going to work for the other.
That's right.
All of mine that I didn't raise, I tell you what, that baby boy, he just wasn't gonna break. No matter what I did. You understand? Shoot, he was breaking me. I said, oh no.
And again, everybody,
I'm gonna have to let life teach you.
Y'all, and I want everyone to know that these are just our opinions. You understand what I'm saying? Like Judy said, every style doesn't work for everybody and all children, and there are many different ways to deal with your children. But I think that timeout thing, like you said, just take a break and then come back to it. That's important because that's how a lot of children end up hurt. You know, people end up in trouble because your mind is just so up here. Yes, that's how them kids end up in them cages and
ended up in those dog cages and locked up in rooms and underneath the stairs and carrying on.
That's horrible, though, for real. That's just too far. Healthy balance. That's what I agree.
But it's hard sometimes to find a healthy balance. And I say this because they feel like because there's not two parents in a home that the child is broken in some form or fashion. Mm-hmm. You can have a healthy home with two parents. And if that woman and that man or opposite sex or whatever, if they're broken, those kids are gonna see it. And in my kids' defense, a lot of their rebelliousness is because of what was going on in my home. Now, my immediate family, my aunties, my cousin, and all them, I've never talked down about my mate. And Keisha's my first cousin. She can tell you that. But that don't mean that it didn't affect my kids. Mm. That when they see you as the parent struggling, trying to figure out when, where, how, where the meal gonna come from, how you gonna pay the bill, how you gonna get school clothes, that affects them. Because that's not an everyday life. So when Sandra's asking me, where does she start? Or when she's asking the panel, where does she start? Baby, it starts with love. I don't care what I went through. I don't care who I was with. I love my kids. I love my kids. But because I love them so much, I still ended up hurting them because I was holding on to something that wasn't good for them or me.
All right.
So I have to clear that up. I get on this show and I joke and I laugh and I play. But if you think just because you got a two-parent household that everything is perfect all the time, that still affects your children. It just doesn't happen because you come up in a single-parent household. Oh, your daddy was single. Oh, your mama was single. You go with mama and daddy and still be jacked up.
You ain't lying. How about these blended households? I'm going to tell you something. Living in a blended household, that is the hardest thing to do. Wondering whether or not it's okay for you to discipline that other person's child or not, or thinking, well, should I hold back? You know what I'm saying? And just let, for instance, me and Tanya, when we met, our family became blended. Mm-hmm. I trusted her with my child that I had, but I always had that fear back in my mind of like, she don't trust me with her kids. You know what I'm saying? So that would lead to them acting out, acting a fool, being disrespectful, and I can't discipline them. Because I'm afraid of how she feels about my discipline.
I think I went through a phase where I don't know if this is, and I want to know if this is something from other mothers. If when you do get into the relationship, I did trust her. I felt like we were on the same page and we wanted the same things for our children. But it just seemed like, and it may be because of how I was dealt with when I was young with my parents and my dad. My dad was the strong disciplinarian. Okay. And to me, it was excessive. So if I see something that maybe she did that mimicked it or not, and it wasn't the same, it just in my mind, I'm already looking at it as far left field, but it really wasn't. It was warranted. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't bad, but it sparked something in me and it made me say, you don't like my son. You don't, something's not there. And so it made me feel like, okay, so now I have to defend him, or I have to make excuses of, or I went into that protective thing. And it wasn't warranted. It wasn't supposed to be like that. It was because of me looking at something.
And it split our relationship up to where I moved out and got my own place.
It did.
You know what I'm saying?
Affected
I was like this. You so in love with your golden child, you and your golden child can stay over there. I'm gone.
I didn't realize where I was wrong in this until later on. And I swear we went through it round and around with it.
Because she could not tell that boy no for nothing. He could come to her face and tell her that she's wrong about something. And she'll say, yeah, I am.
And Tanya, I would go to my husband and I would tell him to go discipline him, because I was always the discipliner. I always took the initiative to do that. So when I would get real mad and I would just be over the moon, I'd go in there and say, you need to go in there and tell him that. He'll go in there and say, man, let me holler. So calm. And when he comes back, I'm like,
you done?
You ain't do nothing. What you do? He says you ain't gotta holler at them all the time. You ain't gotta beat them all the time. Sometimes you just got to say it in a very simple manner. His parenting and my parenting was totally different, and they would run to him for everything.
See,
everything. And I was over, and I can parent and be harsh. But if I see somebody else doing my kid like that, I'm like, I feel
That's it.
Watch out, back up.
some type of way. I'm like, I got a look on my face like, why? Wait a minute, now you being a little bit too harsh to my kid. You know what I'm saying? And I've been told
an automatic thing with women or what?
That's Sandra.
That's what I want to know. I mean, did you feel like your husband or whoever you were with at the time was treating your son like giving him excessive punishment?
I didn't feel like he was giving an excessive punishment. I just wasn't used to anybody else parenting him.
Oh, okay.
But anybody else, stepping in and having to say like, when he did take the initiative or when it did go like certain things, I would, like you said, Tanya, get mad about and be over the roof about. He'd be like, it ain't even that serious. But then when there would be certain things that he would be mad about that I would be like, it ain't that serious. So when he go to parent at that time, I'm sitting there with a look on my face like that wasn't that wasn't that serious. But then I realized later on that, you know what I'm saying, he the man of the house. They got to listen to this man house. You know what I'm saying? They got to listen to him. And if I'm always stepping in and trying to control the situation and take over, then, you know what I'm saying?
Sends mixed signals.
Like,
okay. It definitely does.
That
and
shows,
that's exactly what
that the parents are divided.
Yeah, he
that
gonna
shows that you
like, okay, I'm gonna let you do it your way. And I'm struggling.
That's definitely Sandra right now today with her and her mate. And he's the kid's biological dad. But when Chill stepped in, it's like, you ain't got to do all that. But she be the one hooping and howling and screaming and blood pressure through the roof.
Yes.
That's Sandra. And I'll be like, that's their dad. Chill out. He good. He disciplined Kai and left a whip on his back or whatever from the belt, not across the back, but the lower part where the booty is. So that's allowed. And I thought Sandra was going to kill the boy. So I go, as the GG, I said, Sandra, it's okay. It ain't our fault your baby light skin. He just got a good ass whooping. That's all. He just got a good ass whooping. The real good ass whooping. I mean, and he needed sometime being the oldest boy. He need to know that you're not in this by yourself. So like, even with Gray right today, because my kids are grown, and I keep going back to this, Judy, because my kids are grown and I'm learning where to nip it. He keeps asking me, and I think he's going to keep asking me until I move, are you ready? Because when you go to this other city, you're not in arm's reach for your kids. You know?
So when that's another subject, another topic. So when do you let your children go? When do you know?
When they become adults, when they graduate high school and you done influence them to go to college, trade school, whatever, and they bump out their first time, that's where I should have nipped mine with my kids. I'm not gonna lie. When my son decided to drop out of college, when my daughter decided to get pregnant her sophomore year in college, when Tatiana decided at 22 to get pregnant when she finished cosmetology school, at that particular point, because you all have made adult decisions, you all have made the second. So there's no need for me to still be giving and pulling back bull crap, if that makes sense.
Yes,
I did that already. I mean, I'm at a point with my kids to where I don't do nothing. I mean, I do. If you come to me and you need some advice or you want to talk about something, then we talk about it. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion and I'm going to tell you what I feel like you should do. But at the end of the day, y'all pay your own bills. I don't pay your bills. I can't make no decisions for you. All my kids left. And
it's like our kids get it confused. It's like when we give them advice, they don't understand that we're just here to guide you right now. You're grown. That means that you hear us and we're giving you guidance, but we're not telling you what to do. So they take it as, oh, you still acting like we're little kids. You're trying to tell us what to do. You know, they take it as we're trying to make them do whatever we want them to do.
As if they were still young. And that's not the case.
It's like they don't even realize that you're grown now.
It's almost like when they started making those decisions to do those grown things, they wanted us to let go and they wanted to be considered grown. And we're like, okay, well, now that you're doing that, we let go. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. They want to come back.
They want to regress now.
Mm-hmm.
But in my kids' defense, since I keep being so harsh on them, I can say I'm finna live my life, but let me call one of them rugrats.
Right.
And they don't come when I say come or do when I say do or give when I say give. Oh, that's
blurred lines. Blurred lines.
Completely.
You gonna have to cut the reins.
You know,
blurred. She blind. Blind. That ain't blurred. She got her eyes closed. And I'm telling you, man, they parenting skills were so much similar alike, but now I've grown to know different. I let my kids do whatever they gonna do, fall however you gonna fall. When you come to me for help, that's when I step in. But until you come to me for help, I ain't got nothing. Hey, like I said, my son left too. I almost cried because my son was 18 years old 2 weeks after he graduated, and he moved out because I'm like, how's he gonna make it? And he working on his third lease right now, and they never asked me for one dime.
All right.
Well, I have to say that when our kids decided when it was time for them to go, let's see who was the first, because they go and they come back, go and come back. But when they finally actually left,
Julian was the first to leave, I think.
Well, when they were leaving and going in and out and going and coming back, I was going through some emotions that I really didn't know.
Empty nest syndrome.
Man,
shoot, I was like, oh my God, please don't let them come back. Please tell their ass no. What? Baby, I got used to that freedom. Walking around butt naked.
I was in the house.
Nobody begging for money. Go eat your butt naked in the refrigerator, drinking out the milk. You know what I'm saying? Butt naked, let it breathe. And here she comes bringing these stragglers back into the house.
Tanya, I feel that. I do feel that. I'm telling you, because I was sitting in there like, it was so quiet. I had to learn that this is the peace that I've been looking for.
Man.
And now that I got this peace, I'm like, it's boring.
Oh, okay. So, y'all, what would you say that to cap up our topic tonight? Being parents. Parents, there's a line that you don't cross, right? Try to think clearly with your children. Know the boundaries, I guess, and to respect it. Oh, I meant to ask this.
Ask.
Demanding respect. When your kids, what is the saying? They want respect from you, or you demand the same respect that you want them to give to you.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. It's kind of cross, because if you're trying to tell your kids what to do, you're in control of them, and it's like you're not giving them a say so. Or
are you talking about when they grow up, when they're grown?
Well, I guess if they're grown, let them go. So that's to wrap it up. When they're grown, let them go.
I feel like your kids,
don't worry about that.
I feel like your kids should always give you respect. I
was just gonna say that.
Your kids give you the respect that they supposed to give you, and it keeps on going down the line.
That's it.
Like us from the old school days, we respect all our elders.
That's it. Even if Mr. John Thomas was wrong for whooping my ass or getting on my ass,
even if they lied on me.
You better not disrespect.
No,
man. They want to blow up their house too. Be over there talking about, I seen Keisha over there in that creek. Yeah, she playing with them boys. Playing throw up tackle after you told her not to, Granny. I go and have Granny say, so you over there playing in the creek? Who? No, ma'am. Oh, you just gonna lie to me, huh?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. I didn't mean to start a whole nother topic, but Judy, you are right. Right or wrong, we were taught to respect our elders.
And now we're teaching our kids to argue with us instead of giving us respect. Because why? Because they feel like I have an opinion, and my opinion is greater than yours.
Yep.
You know, so I feel like sometimes kids shouldn't have an opinion. Okay. They haven't lived long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, wait, and then you and your kids have discussions. Let your kids have opinions with you. But in my house, and there wasn't no opinion. Sorry.
What I said.
That's too much confusion going on. Okay. Especially if we got to battle and have a whole debate because you think, no, my opinion, you need to hear my opinion. No, we ain't finna debate. I'm not finna debate with no kid.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this because this is my father's birthday, and I know I keep cutting in, but my daddy said, if you ain't in my pocket messing with my jangling, which is my change, I ain't got no opinion. But as long as you digging in my pocket trying to get my change, I'm gonna keep a goddamn opinion.
Okay.
And with that
being said, we're gonna close for the night. But before we go, we gotta do our drawing, y'all. Tonight is Thursday night giveaway. Come on, girl. Come on with the numbers.
Look here, I'm coming, y'all. This our way of showing.
I thought you were gonna invest in some kind of machine.
Okay, I'm gonna get to it. You know, I'm trying to get a little fancy machine to roll out.
A little turnaround machine.
Yeah, girl. Little lottery ball.
With that being said, y'all, we're taking donations. So if y'all want to donate, you can donate to Straight Talk.
Okay, because my funds getting low on this Thursday giveaway. My bank account getting a little empty.
Look here, but we appreciate everybody that hangs in here with us. You know, y'all don't forget to go and share and tell people to subscribe and tune in and stuff like that.
And don't forget to slide into that DM and get your cancer awareness T-shirt.
Oh yeah, look, cuz these are our new shirts, cancer awareness shirts.
Right, like a girl.
Oh, we do have masks also.
And then I have mine on, but you know, you can't probably see it. Mine. I wear pink for someone special.
You can get their name. You can get them customized.
Yeah, you can get them customized any way you want them.
Yeah, my 11-year-old niece just beat cancer.
Oh, blessings.
We love you too, Miss Amber. We love all of y'all.
All right.
Thank y'all for tuning in every week.
All right.
I'm gonna tell y'all.
Oh, Cynthia, go on, show that bell. Show it.
Today was a rough one.
That's all right. All right, it's got the filters on them.
Wait a minute, let me zoom in on it. Can I zoom in on Nate? Hold on, Nate. Let me see if I can get you up in the camera. Not me. Let's see.
Over.
Let me see. Now that's gonna bring us.
Yeah.
Nate, come over to the camera. Come over a little bit. Turn. Now turn. Wait a minute, let me move this comment here.
Go back to your left.
Yeah. Now turn.
We're gonna get it, y'all. Don't worry about it. There it is.
Stronger together.
Yes.
So we have our breast cancer awareness mask, and they're only $5.
Welcome to get you one.
And can't you breathe easy in those masks?
Yeah, it's real light and you can breathe, and I'm not hot and sucking in hot air. It's real comfortable. It's
and
real
there's a filter on the side.
Y'all come check them out. Don't forget.
All right. Well, here we go with our drawing, huh? Oh, you said take us off. You should say take us off.
Girl.
All right, let's see what our first number is. Can I get a drum roll?
Time to get in the room, baby.
Number is number 10.
Number 10 belongs to Alexia Moore.
Alexia. All right, let's see. Our next number is number 7.
Number 7 is Miss Tatiana Bible.
Oh, well, she was just complaining.
She was just complaining, y'all.
What in the world? I swear, something's rigged in this.
She was just complaining. I'm tired of losing. Like you done put in on something.
Congratulations to our two winners tonight.
And again, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to Straight Talk No BS. We love y'all.
Definitely. Good night, everybody.
Y'all have a good night.